Alright, what's up? IQWrestler here. It's ridiculously late here, but I can't sleep, so I thought I'd bust out some UFC 131 predictions real quick before the show tonight. First fight I want to talk about is actually the one I'm probably most looking forward to. Michihiro Miguel versus Darren Elkins. Michi had a tough first fight in the UFC versus Chad Mendes, who's a lay and pray guy. Even though he didn't really completely lay and pray on Michi, mainly because Michi wouldn't let him, but he's still a lay and pray guy. But Michi gave him a tough fight and did pretty well considering how some other guys who have come over from Japan have done so poorly. He did pretty good considering that. I thought he would get someone a lot more high ranked than Darren Elkins. I mean, Elkins has had one fight in the UFC, which is the fight where he got submitted in like 30 seconds by Charlie Oliveira. I see Michi wasting here. Easy win for him, really. This doesn't really do anything for him, though. If he wins this, it doesn't really put him, back in the title hunt too much. It's basically just to get him off the starting block, which is okay, but I wish they would have gave him someone a little bit better. Then we got Yves Edwards versus Sam Stout. This one should be a really exciting fight. Both guys like to go to war. I'll roll with Yves on this one. He's been around a long time. And Sam Stout has been, a little bit off form lately. He has really good takedown defense though, and is good at getting back up off the ground. But I think Yves' experience will come through here, and he'll win a hard-fought decision. It'll be a tough fight though. Then we got the Cowboy Dom Serene versus Wagner Rocha. Haven't seen Rocha fight at all, but the Cowboy really brings it every single time. He's probably the only fighter from Greg Jackson's camp that I can honestly say is one of my favourite fighters. The guy is never ever boring. Rocha is very decorated in BJJ though, so and Donald does have most of his wins by submission. So it'll be interesting to see if this turns into a bit of a ground battle. But I think Cowboy will be way too much on the feet. I mean, his stand-up is just as good, if well, not better, but as good as his ground game. So I think he'll take this and put on an exciting fight as always. I'll pick the Cowboy by a TKO in round 2 or 3. Then we got a really interesting fight, sort of old school, I suppose. Damian Maia versus Mark Munoz. This is a bit of a tough one to predict. Both guys aren't quite comfortable on the feet. I mean, I know Maia's been working it really hard at his stand-up, but, he still looks uncomfortable and awkward on the feet. And he's always going to want to get the fight to the ground, no matter how good his stand-up gets. Mike will stand on the feet and trade. He's got mad power in his hands, like a couple of lunch boxes. You know, and he obviously has some of the best ground and pound around, but I don't think he's going to want to play that game with Maya unless he has Maya hurt and dives in for a kill. You know, he'll want to use his wrestling to keep the standing. But Maya does have some tricky moves, like the lateral drop that he did on Chael. You know, so you never know what really Maya's going to do. You know, he's very crafty. But I'm going to roll with Mark Munoz here. I think he'll use his wrestling, which is very good, to keep this fight on the feet and, you know, hammer out either a really ugly decision or a spectacular knockout. Either one, I'm not sure. But I'll go with Munoz on this one. Next up, we got two UFC debuts with Viking Power. John Olav Onamo going up against Dave Pee Wee Herman. Onamo out of Team Golden Glory. Dave Herman, of course, from Sengoku. And all around, he's been all over the place. Onamo was meant to fight Shane Carwin until Brock Lesnar got sick. You know, and it'll be interesting to see how good his stand-up is. Training with Team Golden Glory. I know his ground game is phenomenal, but he hasn't fought since 2006, when he fought James Thompson in Too Hot to Handle, and before that at Pride 31 against Fabricio Verdum, when he gave Verdum a very tough fight, actually. Herman looked really good in his last fight. I saw him in at Sengoku Solo Fight, when he pretty much tooled Kiss Nakai. But he leaves himself open a lot. You know, he's very sporadic, and he doesn't really seem to have game plans in a lot of his fights. You know, he goes out and plays it by ear. You know, which can work out really good. But he'll have to be careful here, not to leave himself open. Because if Onamo can keep it even on the feet, you know, he'll be in trouble. Herman will be in trouble. Because if he has to go takedowns to win the fight, you know, or on the ground, he'll get, I don't think he'll last very long. So this will be an interesting one. I'm going to roll with Golden Glory here, and I'm going to pick Onamo by a submission in round 2. And we're at the co-main event, Kenny Florian versus Diego Nunes. It's Kenny Florian's featherweight debut. Coming off that hideous performance against Gray Maynard. This is Diego Nunes' debut in the UFC. Was on a tear in the WEC before that got absorbed. And you know, I can't stand Kenny Florian. You know, I used to like him way back in the day, but you know, he's an asshole. He comes off as a jerk, and I don't respect that. I think how this fight goes will depend a fair bit on how Kenny Florian's weight cut will affect him. You know, I heard that he had some trouble, and it was really tough on him. And if he's trained for this fight, he hasn't got a chance in hell of beating Nunes. But if the cut, you know, didn't affect him too bad, he might get a decision here. I don't see him stopping Nunes, really. But I'm going to roll with Nunes here out of pure bias. And I'm going to pick Diego Nunes by decision. Then in the main event, we got Shane Carwin versus Junior Dos Santos. Of course, we all know Brock Lesnar was meant to be in this fight, but pulled out sick again. I didn't really watch any more than an episode and a half of this season of The Ultimate Fighter. You know, it was raw garbage this season, so I wasn't really excited for the Brock Lesnar Junior Dos Santos fight, even though I'm a fan of both Brock Lesnar and Junior. I know my boy Wayne Shorter got some flack for saying he's a Brock Lesnar fan, but I'm a Brock Lesnar fan as well. You know, but I don't think Brock would have beaten Junior. I used to doubt Junior a lot. You know, I used to think every fight that Junior was gonna lose, and I learned that lesson the hard way. I think the last fight I did that on was the fight with Gilbert Ivel. I thought Gilbert would beat JDS. As crazy as that sounds now. And I'm not going to doubt him here. Carwin has had a long layoff with injuries and everything and all the steroid stuff, and he's slimmed down quite a lot. He's not the mountain of a man he was, or at least he's not a big of a mountain. You know, and I think they'll affect his power a little bit. He might have gained some cardio. You know, he mightn't gas in 4 minutes or whatever. But I think it'll affect his power a little bit. And JDS is the best boxer, not the best total striker. That would be Alistair Overeem. But the best boxer in MMA heavyweight division, for sure. You know, he comes in at great angles. He rarely hits you with one punch. You know, he puts together his combos. He goes to the body a lot, which I love. Love guys that go to the body. And his uppercut is simply spectacular. Of course, Shane Carwin, well, he did have the power to knock you out in one punch, which we'll see if he still has. But he's also had his chin checked a lot. Quite a few times he's had his chin checked. The Gabriel Gonzaga fight, of course, which he was extremely lucky to get out of that. Whereas we haven't really seen Junior rocked at all, really. You know, of course Shane Cohen has his wrestling as well, but man, I don't know. I don't think he'll be able to take Junior down, not with ease anyway. And you know, on the ground, well, we'll see. Maybe we'll finally get to see Junior's ground game. You know, we've never really seen it before. Maybe we'll get to see it this time. You know, I just think Junior's going to outclass him on the feet a fair bit. He should avoid the clinch, though. In the clinch, Junior might be in a bit of trouble. But he has good foot movement and comes in at angles, not straight ahead. So he should be pretty tough to catch. Yep, we'll go to Junior by a knockout in round 1. So that's the show. You know, it's a good card. On paper, anyway. You never know what you're getting with the UFC. But, you know, it's a good card with some good, entertaining looking fights on it anyway. Shout outs to Bloodstone Lane. Shout outs to Chuck, my boy Chucky. Shout outs to my Koji Haru top team member, Johan. He's doing vlogs now, you should check him out. I'll put a link in the description. Check him out, he's good. Shouts to Wayne, Sambo. Shouts to my boy Stillwheel, who's helping me get some material for my next highlight video. Shoutouts to the bringer of JMMA gear, Brittany. Shoutouts to my friend in Japan, Hiro. Hello, Hiro-chan. Shoutouts to I promised Les. Hey Les, that I give him a shout out. Shoutouts to everyone else at Team Takeover, everyone on Twitter. Elon. The Black Fedora, everyone on Twitter, shoutouts to y'all, everyone on Facebook, everyone at Team Takeover. Peace out.